Welcome back to another edition of Charles Barkley Says on TYT Sports. I think this is the 5th or 6th time we've discussed something that Chuck said and whether we debate if we agree or disagree with Chuck. So Chuck, thank you for driving our content. We do this a lot. We love your unfiltered opinion on sports. I truly do. I'm not being sarcastic about that. Francis, Charles Barkley had said something about Ben Simmons. Would you like to hear what he said?
I would love to hear it. Story time with Jason.
Should Ben Simmons, should he stay in college or should he go to the NBA?
He should stay in college.
Really, why?
I want all young kids to stay in college for at least 2 years.
Is there a reason why? Is it what?
Because they're not ready for the NBA.
Do you think, so you don't think Ben's ready for the NBA?
No, he's not ready for the NBA. They're not even going to make March Madness.
That's true.
Come on, stop. I'm good, man. Please, man.
Hey, brother. Good seeing you, Charles, as always, my friend.
Francis, do you agree with Chuck? All kids should stay in school for 2 years because they're not ready for the NBA.
I agree that, I don't know, it's difficult to say, right? Because Ben Simmons is in a different category than most.
Yeah.
We understand this. We have seen the athletes make the jump, not even going to college, straight from high school, who some of them in that category happen to be pretty good basketball players, right? Ben Simmons, we don't know, could have been that. We don't really know. We just see him as we see him right now in college, and it seems like he's already at that level. So you got to take a guy like Charles Barkley's opinion. Definitely, you got to take it into account because he knows the game. Do I think after what I've seen recently with recent athletes that have went straight from college without staying into college as long as maybe someone like Charles Barkley thinks into the NBA, I think that I would fancy Ben Simmons' chances. It's all based on your opinion on how you think that player will play coming in as a one and done, basically. And you look at Anthony Davis and you look at Kyrie Irving and you look at Andrew Wiggins. Do you consider Ben Simmons to be in that category? Because if you do, then there's every right to think that he could go in and perform just as good as he's been playing right now in college. But Charles Barkley's right as well. His team probably aren't even going to make March Madness. So are you judging it based on how he's performing against the competitors he's playing against right now? Because we know that difference, that leap in the NBA. But judging by individual performances, how he looks on the court, his athleticism, his maturity, his vision, I would say that he could do it. Whether or not he's going to be able to do it as efficient and as well as he could if he was to have more experience in college, that's a different question because I think he could make that leap, but it's how you make that leap efficiently. Like, is he going to be able to perform as good as if he was to stay at college?
So on this edition of Charles Barkley Says, do you agree or disagree with Charles?
I think we'll just scrap all that
no.
I said, and I'm going to say, in this opinion, no, I think Ben Simmons could make the jump.
Good man. We're going to go to some charts and graphs
By the
via
way,
the Washington Post. Short stacks. One and done win shares per 48 minutes. An estimated number of wins contributed by a player per 48 minutes. League average is approximately 0.1 as of April 8th. A lot of those guys are one and dones. D-Rose, Kyrie Irving. I don't think Andre Drummond was. Kevin Durant, Anthony Davis, some of the best. We continue, there's more. Costa Koufos was not, but still. One and done performance versus all others based on draft pick. If you are a top 5 draft pick and you are a one and done, you have a very good chance of succeeding in the NBA. Wow. Ben Simmons is not falling below number 2 if for whatever reason Brandon Ingram gets taken first overall. If you're a 11 or higher pick, you still average more than the guys who don't go one and done. Next, one and done win shares per 48 minutes based on draft picks. Again, same thing. Top 5 picks have a better win share. The only where it gets different is that's where picks 6 or higher on the one and dones seem to, by win shares, not by points or rebounds, but by actual win shares, how much you're affecting the team is a little less likely. But this doesn't matter. You got to focus on that far left bar graph because that's where Ben Simmons is getting drafted. Here's why Charles Barkley's wrong on this specific case, and I usually agree with Charles Barkley. I love Charles Barkley for these things. The college basketball, the quality of play is in the gutter. It's garbage. Yeah. The experience of the players is probably at an all-time worst, even though guys like Karl-Anthony Towns came out last year, and the draft last year was stacked with good NBA players. Just because there's good NBA players does not mean that the quality of the college is good. So, first of all, yeah, LSU might not make the tournament. His team is not that good. He has nothing to gain from playing with LSU. The quality of players is garbage, right? So, Dan just held up he has no jumper. LeBron had no jumper.
I was going to say that.
And a lot of players didn't have a jumper. Michael Carter-Williams had the biggest turnover problem in college basketball. They fixed these things. And Ben Simmons.
Who do you trust more so to fix it when that is your end
An
goal?
NBA coach,
Right.
NBA trainers, NBA level players make you better.
Yeah.
You need to play against superior competition to own your skills and get better. So here's the thing. If you didn't have to go to college for a year, which is ruining college basketball, Ben Simmons gets drafted out of high school. This isn't even a question.
Yeah.
He'd already be in the NBA, and we don't know what would have happened then. But he had a year in LSU. It was pretty much a waste of a year. The guy's going to go to the NBA because he should go to the NBA.
Yeah, I think that, again, I've focused so much of my attention watching this season on Golden State, but also I'm a huge fan of Anthony Davis. And I watched him throughout that season in college, and I was mesmerized by parts of his game. But there was parts there that even the commentators, the analysts were all saying was weaknesses, but they never, ever doubted that he could play in the NBA and be a dominant figure because he had all the fundamentals there. He had the fundamentals that you can't teach. He had the aggression. You can teach it further, yeah, but he had the aggression, the athleticism, the natural gift. But you go into a surrounding where it's professional coaches who their job is to adjust your game and help suit you into that division. I would trust an NBA coach over any sort of college system. Now, nonetheless, you get amazing coaches like Rick Pitino and other coaches in there that are going to help you.
Yeah.
Is that his coach at the moment? No. So, and I'm not saying that would be any different, even if he still was in a Kentucky or a Kansas or anything else. I would still fancy him to be have a better chance of succeeding in the NBA if he went at this moment, because you're only going to get better. I think if you stay at college level and he stays with LSU, the chances are next season, unless they turn things around again, he's maybe not going to play in the biggest tournament where you're going to get crucial experience in terms of the pressure that you faced in the bigger crowds. He might not get that next season either, so he's not going to get that addition. Whereas if he goes to the NBA, he gets coaching from these guys that are trained to try and adjust these players. I fancy his chances. I fancy him to make a similar transition that Anthony Davis did, and just to see him take over the league based on what he's going to be taught and what he can adjust.
Right. It's like, first of all,
Fucking finish my pancake.
yeah, finish your pancake. Lastly, before we go here, if it's not the one and done thing that makes you want to go to the NBA, or the fact that you can be a first or maybe less likely second overall pick in the NBA draft, there's likely a 9-figure shoe deal awaiting you when you get to the league. Take the 9-figure.
Go to Under Armour.
Take the 9-figure shoe deal and probably go to the Lakers. It's a lot warmer in LA than it is in Philly.
Very, very valid point. Heat and lifestyle and weather trump any possibility of winning a championship. And I'm here.
And
you can come here and sit here. We could change this into a
You eating my
chair.
pancake?
Yeah, you can have a pancake. Anything you want. Come here.